Hey guys, it's Chris. From a Stonehenge in the Amazon to uncontacted tribes, here are 8 scary and surprising things found in the jungle. Number 8. Piranhas. Of all the fish in the world, the piranha is one of the most glamorized in regards to being one of the most deadly fish out there. The piranha is a fish that's characterized by its sharp teeth that can bite through nearly any living thing, which is not an exaggeration. They usually swim in swarms, so that when they eat, they'll come together to literally pick the bones clean, regardless of what has fallen into the water. While that would be terrifying enough to most, the other problem with piranha is that they can get up to 2 feet in length, which, let's be honest, is pretty big for a regular fish that eats meat. It should be noted, though, that piranhas don't openly attack humans. They'll bite them, sure, but they don't usually eat humans for a simple reason. When they fall into the water, they typically aren't hurt. Piranha prefer prey that is weak in various ways. That way they can't resist the swarm descending on them and killing them. It should also be noted that not all the piranha species in the world are full-on meat eaters. Some are herbivores, some are omnivores, and yes, some are meat eaters purely, like the red-bellied piranha. The legend about their teamwork abilities are true, though, as they'll work together in order to eat a meal in record time, which is why many people fear the waters of the Amazon jungle, and they have appeared on the show River Monsters numerous times. Number 7. Zombie fungi. The idea of zombies existing in our world via some event has long been dramatized in the world of media. But the sad truth is that there is a type of zombie virus right now that's affecting the wildlife in certain jungles. Except it's not a virus per se, it's actually a fungus. Yes, there is a fungus in the world that can turn living creatures into zombies, and it's a well-known one, and it's within the genus Ophiocordyceps. This well-documented fungi has been known to take over the minds of ants, turning them into zombies that are literally controlled by the spores of the fungi. One of the first things the fungi will have the ant do is climb up to a high leaf or plant and just wait there, and they won't do anything but hold on to the leaf or plant. Then, once it dies, the ant basically explodes and spreads the spores within its body to other ants, thus creating a zombie ant outbreak. Now, you may call that bleak, and I'll agree, because it's terrifying how efficient that is, to the extent that there are fossils of zombie ants from millions of years ago, which goes to show how long this has been going on to some degree. The Ophiocordyceps genus has apparently evolved over the years, which isn't uncommon for fungi, and that ensures its own lifespan matches or surpasses the host that it tries to inhabit. Though ants are the most documented insect to fall victim to this zombie virus, some scientists believe that spiders have also fallen victim to them. Despite the fungus being known, and despite understanding what they do, scientists do not understand how they're able to control the minds of ants like this, which means that something is going on inside them that science just can't figure out. While humans don't have to fear this kind of thing happening to them per se, it is something that's scary in terms of how long it's been around. And I guess with enough evolution, anything is possible. Number 6. Corpse flower. Now, you might look upon the corpse flower and think, well, that's an odd plant, but nothing else. Yet it's so much more than that. It's actually a combination of thousands of male and female flowers that grow together to form this massive structure. It's actually one of the largest flower structures in the world today, as well as one of the rarest in the world, which was why many were stunned upon its discovery in the jungle. The name that the flower was given was due to its smell. The corpse flower emits an odor that actually does smell like rotting flesh, but only when it's in bloom. Tim Pollock, outdoor florist at the Chicago Botanical Gardens, noted the following: "The color, smell, and even temperature of the corpse flowers are meant to attract pollinators and help ensure the continuation of the species. Such insects who like this smell include dung beetles and flesh flies, who truly do like the smell of rotting flesh, and the plant grew to recognize that. But it also goes even deeper to ensure that the insects come. Corpse flowers are also able to warm up to 98 degrees Fahrenheit to further fool the insects," Pollock added. "The insects think the flower may be food. They fly inside, realize there's nothing to eat, and then they fly off with pollen on their legs. This process ensures the ongoing pollination of the species. Once the flower has bloomed and pollination is complete, the flower collapses. Now, in terms of size, the largest corpse flower ever recorded was over 10 feet tall, though it is said it could be as tall as 15 feet, and the leaves of it can be 3 feet long. That being said, it can take up to 7 years for them to bloom, and some don't bloom for decades. Truly, this is an oddity of the plant world. Number 5. Congo's carbon bomb. The jungles of the Congo have been studied for many years, and one of the most shocking finds was not made in the trees or even in the plants. It was within the very soil that people were standing on. Inside the soil, scientists discovered a carbon bomb, or more accurately, a large deposit of carbon that had sunk into the earth itself. So how big is this carbon sink? Well, it's 56,000 square miles, which in context is larger than the country of England, and that is an incredible amount of carbon. Yet, believe it or not, it's not even the biggest in the world. However, there is more carbon beneath the ground in this section of swampland and jungle in the Congo than there is natural carbon above it. In round numbers, there's about 30 billion tons of carbon beneath the ground in the Congo jungle, which is 16 times larger than scientists expected to find when they started their research. The reason for this large amount of carbon being below the ground is because of the ground itself. It's known as peatland, which is famous for stopping decomposition part of the way through and absorbing the carbon that's left over. Add that to the 11,000 years that the peatland has been around, and that adds up to 30 billion tons of carbon. Number 4. The Stone Head of Guatemala. A massive stone statue was found in the jungles of Guatemala in the 1950s, and it stunned many scientists and archaeologists when it was discovered. The first reason for this was because the stone stage was not only massive, it was carved in the likeness of a face. But the face didn't resemble what humans looked like in the area. It had very thin lips and a very large nose. And the orientation of the face was directed to look at the sky, which struck many as odd. What was tragic, though, was that shortly after the stone head was found, it was later destroyed, apparently by anti-government rebels. However, a picture of the head has been kept as proof of its existence, and documentaries have also been done about it, as well as daring to ask the question of who made it in the first place. Guatemalan archaeologist Hector E. Mejia was interviewed for the documentary, and he stated, "It was created by an extraordinary and superior civilization with awesome knowledge, of which there is no record of existence on this planet." Number 3. Swamp Ghost Plain. The thing about jungles that people forget is that they're so big and lush with vegetation that just about anything can get lost in there. Even a World War II plane from very, very long ago. But not just any plane, a B-17 bomber known as the Swamp Ghost. During World War II, the United States set up operations in Papua New Guinea in order to try and halt the Japanese advance, as well as have a base in the area to launch their planes and ships close to the Japanese homeland. This led to many battles over the island, where many planes crashed, including the B-17 bomber. So why does this matter? Because restaurant entrepreneur David Talichet found it in Papua New Guinea. He had kind of a hobby for collecting old warplanes, and when he found this one in Papua New Guinea, he knew he had to have it. When he found it, it was nearly buried by the undergrowth of the jungle. Swamp Ghost is now on display in the United States. Number 2. Amazon has a Stonehenge? Stonehenge is in the United Kingdom, but all around the world, Stonehenge-like monuments and areas have been found, including ones in areas very close to the Amazon jungle. One such place was located in Brazil, near the city of Calçoene. This particular structure had numerous stones about 4 meters high and arranged in a circle, not unlike the original Stonehenge. 127 of these blocks make up the circle, making many people wonder what exactly the purpose of this Stonehenge was. Based on research, it's believed that the site was used for many purposes, including burials, ceremonies of various kinds, and even being used for astronomy. Research is still being done in this area, but it's believed that it could have been made up to 2,000 years ago, which would make it long before certain settlers arrived in these areas of Brazil. Either way, though, this is a complex structure that many worked hard to make, and thus it'll be studied until all its mysteries are solved. Number 1. The Lost Tribe. If there's one certainty that the world has admitted, it's that we don't know everything about the world. And to that end, there are still tribes of people being found that aren't modernized by the world, and in fact still live in the old ways, meaning the ways of using bows and arrows, spears, and living off the land. Over the past couple decades, many lost tribes have been rediscovered, and some look right out of a history book in terms of their attire. One encounter featured a helicopter trying to make a map of the Amazon jungle when it came across a group of natives. They were so scared of the chopper that they began to shoot arrows at it. Another group was actually trying to protect its home, which was near a gold mine, and many were killed by miners trying to get to the gold. Who knows how many more of these pre-modern groups are out there, just living their lives without knowing we're out here too. The governments of Brazil and others have passed several laws trying to protect the integrity of these people and make sure that they remain uncontacted. Well, thanks for watching. What did you think about these scary and surprising discoveries in the jungle? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on World List.